In 2017, I used to hang out on a lot of different Discord servers populated by all sorts of degenerates. I remember in specific one British guy who was a real antisocial asshole. One time, inevitably, the news of some sort of disaster reached our call while we were still gaming. Because back then that still was somewhat of a rare occurrence. And I remember the guy immediately did not take it seriously. When I told him that maybe making jokes about kids dying 5 minutes after they actually died is maybe a little bit weird, he told me that he was completely incapable of feeling empathy towards them. Of course, now I see him for what he truly is, a pimply little edgelord who had a lot to overcompensate for. But back then, this is what some people would consider cool. This guy saw every single other person on the planet as some sort of number or stereotype. He was so cynical and irony poisoned that everything had lost any meaning to him. And somehow, people are trying to tell me that this is supposed to be the superior way of living or something. I mean, we've all heard the monologue of every single villain in every single piece of media ever about how empathy makes you weak, which should tell you that this is 100% for sure the correct take to have. But for some godforsaken reason, a lot of people think that's correct, as if feeling a shred of empathy immediately causes you to fall to your knees. Newsflash, you gigabrains, we're actually predisposed to some sort of kindness because otherwise none of humanity would have survived this shithole for longer than 2 years. But of course there's always some sort of fuck-ass philosopher who's trying to gaslight people into becoming hyper-depressed loners who jerk off to their own main character syndrome. I'm Jordan Peterson and I'm scared of trans people. As a guy whose mother doesn't hate him, this is deeply unrelatable to me, but I'm going to break it down for you anyways. Cruelty does not come natural to people. It needs to be manufactured, it needs to be produced. No kid just pawns into existence with an emo haircut and an attitude that says, I don't care when people die, I just care about my own interests. As if all of this wasn't cringe enough, we now live in an epidemic of people who have convinced themselves that they are supervillains and are always justified in their antisocial actions. You don't understand, Chris. When I was 5 years old, I didn't get the ice cream I wanted, and ever since then I realized that existence is just a black hole. Give me a fucking break. Or better yet, try to explain to me how having empathy makes you weaker than that. No, I get it. We're all flooded with way too many numbers every single day about all of the cruelties and all the horrible shit that's going on the planet. But for some reason, some people think that putting their fingers into their ears and yelling la 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 about every single tragic information makes it somehow go away. As if that's gonna solve anything. Disaffected attitudes, cynicism, and a lack of empathy all just reads as giving up to me. I've never met a person who is actually proud of being an unempathetic asshole. They just gave up one day because being a good person is just way too hard for them. Take that, liberals, or whatever the fuck those people say. And I know that sticking to integral morals and principles in your life is super hard when capitalism tries to corrupt and pervert every single aspect of your life to turn you into some kind of sad little blob. But I do think that having some sort of spine is important, even if you have scoliosis like me. So yes, I do have empathy. Yes, I do try to make the world a better place. And yes, I do help people, even when I know that they will give me nothing in return. No, none of these things cause me to spontaneously combust, even if a lot of people would love for that to happen. No, Chris, wait! When I was 12, a member of a minority group called me a big dum-dum, and ever since then, my only goal... Ugh! Next.